Alright, is my webcam broken? It definitely is. Well, I'll fix that in a moment. Don't worry, guys. I'm not really feeling this blue. I'm not really super sad. But how you doing, Zombie Grub? Good morning.
I'm good. How are you?
Well, as I just said, I'm not blue, so we know that much. White balance on my camera is wicked off. I'm trying to fix that.
Wicked off.
Yeah, there we go. All right, so good Sunday, everybody. It's been a while since we've done one of these casts. I'll explain why we're doing something today, which is not something we wanted to do initially, but get that going here in a sec, because I just make sure all the settings look good. All right, so far so decent. We are running 720 instead of 1080 today, and a big part of that's just because we've been having computer hiccups. Luckily, new computer's on the way, so hopefully it won't be a problem for too much longer. That being said, yeah, the Corsair Cup is officially moving its time and its date. Well, not its time, but I guess its date. So it's not actually going to be Sundays going forward. Oh, I got the wrong bit boss link here. It's actually going to be Fridays going forward. Today ended up being Sunday just because we have a weird schedule for this month and we had to squeeze one of these in. And if we're going to be honest, Grub and I were talking about how we just kind of were going stir crazy. We didn't cast anything for like a couple of days, had like one cast and several days off again, and just wanted to jump back into that saddle. So here we are.
I need time to fly by quickly, Rifkin. You know why?
Because Austin's coming up and you don't want to wait?
No, because my kitten's coming up and I don't want to wait.
Oh, that's right. I forgot it wasn't. So, I don't remember. Did we tell the story of its name on stream? Because it's so cute.
I think we talked about it before, but in case anyone missed it, his name is Nugget. Nugget. It's a little chicken nugget. I don't know. My mom liked the name that the shelter gave it, which is a first, I think. I think we've renamed every other cat we've ever gotten. So, and it fits it perfectly because it's supposedly 5 months, all right? Like they have when they consider it was born, I guess. So like October or something. But it doesn't look 5 months. It's so runty.
Oh.
It's so tiny.
That sounds almost.
Nugget's a pretty perfect word.
That almost sounds insulting. Like he's such a little. He's so runty. He's no good. You no good little runty son of a. Ow.
Oh no, but it's endearing.
Yeah, sure. Anyways, I've got things messing up here. One sec, guys. Live. Can't forget to tweet. Live now. Season 4 begins. Well, that's a great way to start off the stream. Thank you very much. Well, hang on. Let me do the resubs first. I'll do this like in order. Phoenix636 hit us up for 23 months to say good luck casting today. Have a great day. We absolutely will. Thank you so much. Marish just now for 32 months says Corsair Cup go. Eider for 25 months also just resub, no message. And then Snipe Hunt cheered 1,000 bits to kick off the stream. No message, but he does become the Bit Boss battle. And finally, someone offsets that 420 bullshit that was going on from last stream. I was actually, I was surprisingly proud that everyone had consistently managed to 420 it up. I think it was like 6 or 7 bosses in a row.
Is that what was happening? I don't remember.
Yeah, but that was of course like
so
4 days ago. Yeah.
So long ago, Rifkin.
Now, one thing I do want to talk about at some point today, and I'll give like spoiler warnings. All this is going to be about the GSL results, so don't worry, it's not happening right now. You're not going to have your life ruined and swelled before your eyes, but later on today on the cast, I do want to talk about it. That being said, Terminator, love me some Messi. What's up, dude? He just actually had to get his wheels, I guess, replaced on his car, but he still finds it in his heart to sub. Thank you so much, dude. 15 months. Brackets are apparently finalized. And who is that before I go leave the bracket link? Ian01. Thank you very much. Says just discovered you a couple months ago, and I'm loving it. Aw.
Like chicken nuggets from McDonald's. You're loving it.
Oh, there's a new cheer thing. Oh, ba-da-ba. Yeah, I got it. Snipe Hunt. Well, he cheers again.
Isn't that the Twitch alert logo?
Yeah, that's like the Streamlabs cheer. I didn't know there was a custom one for it. That's kind of cool. That's kind of neato.
Neato burrito.
All right, so the bracket looks pretty, like, actually, so it's a surprisingly small bracket, but some really good gems in here. And I know it's not the most conventional first round match. I kind of want to watch Lambo versus Goblin, though.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure. I was going to say, there's actually, like, a lot of those, like, not the best games overseas, but super interesting players like Canine and Healer and Goblin and
Well,
I think Penguin's different Penguin.
I gotta be honest, I'm just hoping for a Euthermal Neeb finals with the way the brackets are set up here. You could have Euthermal dominate the bottom side of the bracket, or Keen maybe. I gotta say one of the two. Tails has shown us some surprising games, but top half for me has got to be Neeb. Neeb, and more Neeb.
Yeah, I think that's a given. I really truly do. I'm sorry, Bly. And Lambo, I guess.
Oh, also Megadog showed up. I know. I remember last time we were casting, Megadog was talking about playing in the tournaments, and he said, "I'll sign up, but you'll give my spot away if you don't want me to waste it." No, dude, I'm glad to see you on the bracket. Hopefully, you versus TKL, who is the French caster for O Gaming, have a good game. I wish you the best of luck.
Where is Lambo?
I have on my friends list, so I'll just invite him off that. Anyways, exclamation mark brackets in chat if you guys don't know the command, so that you can take a look there. First map is going to be on Abyssal Reef. And then who's this? We had a couple more subs coming in while we're trying to get the game set up. Dastier! 14 months of saving esports in a row! Totally worth it. Nice. And then Shark Dog 58 resubbed for 15 months. It's like his sub older brother, I guess. Whoop whoop. 15 months now. Let's have a great stream to celebrate. Nice. Also, man, my hand. I don't know if you guys can really see this on camera, and I like bonked the side of my desk, and it's like, it's gonna get all red. I know. That mess, Rifkin, how can you live like this? Okay, I'm going to explain that and the stuff that you can't see on the floor below me in a moment, because today's been a fucking awful morning. The Nerd100 just subbed with Twitch Prime for 7 months, saying, just bought my DreamHack Austin tickets, hoping to see you there. Hell yeah, dude. I'm excited to go. Let's try and invite Lambo again. So yeah, this morning, many bad things happened. And some of these can be contributed to... lonely drunk Rifkin.
You're drunk?
Yeah. Thank you, Astro Archer, for 14 months.
How could you get drunk? We were playing Civ yesterday.
Yeah, so after we got done playing Civ, I was kind of like, okay, look, guys, I'm gonna be honest. Living alone's kind of had a couple of downsides. One of the biggest ones being not having my cat. Let me ask Lambo what's going on. So normally, like, if I had, like, a bad case of the I'm feeling lonelies, I would just cuddle with my cat and, like, watch a movie or something. Can't really do that here. And everyone had gone out to drink last night for my friend's birthday party. I didn't get to go because I kind of got, like, a small, almost ear infection thing going on. I don't know. I didn't want to go out and get drunk and get sick. So stayed at home. We played Civ. I had a lot of fun for some of it.
Yeah,
it's Civ, god damn it. But anyways, afterwards I got like a bad case of the lonely. So I was like, you know what, people drink, maybe this helps, maybe it doesn't. I always judge them. Why not try it? So I got self-drunk, not like plastered, and I watched a couple of really fucking awful movies too, and I stayed up way too late. I'm on 3 hours of sleep, but I'm sober, baby. Anyways, Drunk Rifkin did a couple of dumb things that I had to deal with consequences of this morning. Number one, I remember having this thought last night where I'm like, man, I sure want a Diet Coke, but they're all warm. And then I recalled like this life hack that was like, wrap it in a wet towel and put it in the freezer, and it'll like chill very quickly or whatever, right? And I think part of this is you're supposed to take it out. I forgot to do this. So if you guys don't know, when a can of Coke freezes, it expands. But if it's wrapped in a frozen towel, it can't expand, so the only thing it can do is explode. So the inside of my freezer, the entire inside of my freezer on the right side is coated in frozen Coke. And I saw that this morning and I was like, fuck it. I'll deal with this after the cast. Like, I'm not sitting there with a fork chipping away at frozen Diet Coke for like half an hour before the stream starts today. So that's problem one. So Lambo's not responding. I'm going to message him on Skype. That's problem one, right? So whatever, we get past that. It happens. Dumb things, whatever. You forget about it. It's not even that bad. Problem two. Oh, Lambo's here. Problem two. Rifkin has recently really gotten into eating curry after not eating curry for like his entire life.
Okay.
Drunk Rifkin was too stupid to prepare curry with anything in it, so apparently I made just like water with curry mix.
Yeah.
And I remember waking up this morning like, oh, I vaguely remember making curry last night. I'm gonna have curry and rice for breakfast. I'm so excited. So we can go ahead and start. Yeah. So go to the kitchen. Of course, get excited for the curry. Realize it's just brown fucking sauce. That's
so gross. Oh my god.
So
should have put it in a cup and drank it.
No, it would have. Well, it would have been less calories. So yeah, that's the start of my day.
That was amazing.
The can of Cokes really got me just because I know I got to clean that up.
I know we collectively made more of a mess in Austin, but I feel like you made more of a mess in like less time. You were like 5 hours. So,
yeah, that high score. Basically, I speed ran making a mess. All right, guys, girls, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Corsair Cup. If you want to tell them it's best of 3. Spawning here in the upper left side of the map. He's quite cheesy when we see him and normally does weird things. I'm excited to see what he's got in store today. It's going to be the blue Protoss Goblin.
In the bottom right is the red Zerg. It's a Lambo.
Okay, so
yeah.
I guess I'll carry on with my cool story moment stuff later. The Corsair Cup, though, once again, sponsored by Corsair. I'm glad that we were able to make this happen and get back on that casting horse. It's been a little bit boring with GSL and WCS eating up everything. But I guess it was a nice break while we had it.
Okay.
And we're almost back to double casting too. If you guys don't know, later tonight we got a BaseTradeTV in-house special coming up. We got Dong Wars #2 happening.
But that's an hour later than like the BTSL, man. That's like
4 a.m. PDT.
That's like a world of difference, man. Dude.
Yeah. It's gonna be a best of 9. It's gonna be an all kill, and it's between the BaseTradeTV house and the Lei Fang house, which is basically all Protoss, as we've learned. Yeah.
I don't know how many resubs we missed listening to your beautiful story.
Oh, I got them. I highlighted. Here we go.
Okay.
Ash Archer was the last one I believe we shouted out. Then we had a couple of bits coming from Sim. Thank you very much. Devin Wolf hit us up with 30 months on that resub. Exidulp, or Executable Dulp. Thank you very much for the 4 months. Racer 2000. Love the stream. Keep up the great work. And then just now, a brand new sub with Gulukit.
Gulukate.
And now we're caught up, and you have to do the rest of the subs for the rest of the stream.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna say though, if you wanted to get drunk, you should have just. Why don't you just make this into a drunk stream?
Because it's 10 a.m. Zombie Grub.
So you started drinking at what, 4 a.m.?
I know it's afternoon for you.
Yeah, afternoon makes it a lot better. You're right.
Well, okay. In fairness here too, though, part of it wasn't just like, oh, Rivka's feeling sad getting drunk. Part of it was like, I wonder if this will help me sleep better. Like, because I get sleepy when I get drunk.
But it didn't.
No, it didn't. I ended up instead staying up and doing that thing where you scroll through Facebook and read all these things from like 5 years ago and like whatever.
Oh, yeah. I don't think I've ever done that. I can't log into Facebook on my phone. I don't remember my password.
Yo, honest, hand to God, I would never use Facebook if we didn't have that BaseTradeTV page I need to update. It's always one of those things where like it's the formality of logging into my Facebook to get to it.
Oh.
By the way, okay, Stargate opening, not so surprising. Phoenix, though, is what I find weird. Goblin's the kind of guy who we've seen do, like, double, sometimes triple Stargate into, like, really weird mass Oracle builds and otherwise. But this looks to be a fairly normal build out of him. And that, in context to him, is weird.
Considering how many other Protosses actually have been going for double... Well, okay, there we go. Double Stargate Mass Oracle, I was a little surprised, that on top of it being Goblin. So, and by other Protosses, I mean Scarlet, who's not a Protoss, and Mana, who, I don't actually know what he was thinking when he did it in the WCS Challenger, but he might have actually been legitimate. I have no idea.
Well,
but there is a double Stargate.
Yeah, second one on the way. I think Mass Phoenix is certainly viable versus Zerg. but he's going for air weapons. Like, he's really going dedicated to this right off the bat.
Yeah. Yep. I'm gonna +1. And you get a Fractal Cackle for the 26-month resub.
I feel like he had that message in mind, knowing you'd have to read this out.
Maybe. And you get a Lost Ancient for the Twitch Prime sub.
Woo! Whoa, okay, that Ling this just set a speed record for a corpse. Jesus. Of course, nothing's gonna beat Tasteless's, or excuse me, or Toastless and Tasteless's reaction to that
Angel.
one Reaper.
Yeah,
it came to like a full stop. Like, it just like.
Watching more of that tournament, it seemed to happen more on their screen than I've ever seen it happen in like the games that we've cast. That just like stop and then slowly float up in a perfect like angel position. Like they just got really lucky.
There's the GSL version of the map, man. Maybe they changed something.
Clearly. They get a Wolf 15 SC for the new sub.
Woo!
What's happening? We getting like a little sub train going on here?
Yeah, I'll take it. If you guys don't know, every streamer fears time off. By the way, third Stargate on the way. Every streamer fears time off because you lose subs. I think we dropped about 20 with our week off. Feels bad, man. So all the new subs are not just welcome, but super appreciated. Now, this is really weird to see. The funny thing is, though, Phoenix, they're really not that expensive. So to mass produce them isn't the problem. It's not like you're trying to make Void Rays, for example. But at the end of the day, I feel like Lambo's got more potential to land a fungal and combo with Queens and Hydras than Goblin has to pick up every single unit exactly perfectly and win the game.
I'll prove you wrong.
Well, maybe, but like, what I was gonna say is if he goes like Storms underneath this or something, I would love that. Storms and Hydras do not mix. Well, not for the Zerg player, at least.
Sure, yeah. I was surprised he didn't take on those Queens. He had energy, and there was only one Spore Crawler, so... well, now there's no Spore Crawlers. He takes them out without even losing any Phoenixes, so maybe.
It's so unfortunate, too, because he had a lot of Transfuses ready to fight those Phoenix.
I don't know
God.
if you can actually hold on here. Well, actually, the Phoenixes are almost out of energy. The 8 Hydras
but
might just be enough if they pop all at once.
I was gonna say, he's making 3 at a time. I don't think energy is going to be the problem here.
Well, I'm guessing he has to pick up probably like 5 Hydras.
Oh, the supply block. He's going to get supply blocked off this.
Oh, jeez.
Savagely supply blocked at that.
Phoenix, good unit. Still got more on the way. Hydras are bulking up at their homes, which is really good. You didn't make a mistake trying to rally any of them. So it looks like the Phoenixes are not going to tango with that. Some of them are still pretty, you know, they're low health. They're not have any shields. And as I said, like, some of them don't have the energy. So it'd be a little scary to go in there, but I still think he could. Although with a supply block, I guess he has time to think about it. Yeah, there you go.
I love that he dives and grabs that immediately, the Hydrolist that is. But that being said, even with lots of Spore Crawlers down, these Phoenix are just so numerous. Getting in, getting kills, and getting back out. Sure would be nice if Spore Crawlers actually did damage to air, right?
Well, they do damage to Overlords.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, Infestors really had to be the way to go, just eventually anyways. Like, regardless of how much this snowballed in the beginning, like, seriously, like, Mass Phoenix with potential of charge lots or storms on the ground, and, well, I don't know about storms, but definitely the charge lots, and you definitely want some fungals along with it. But now that it has snowballed a little bit, put Goblin in a pretty good position, those Infestors have got to come out and make sure these Hydras don't get ripped apart. I mean, he's still building Phoenixes, despite getting a couple more gateways. So it's not any transition to anything else that'll help this, but it could be. And Lambo really hasn't had that great of scouting since taking all this damage. He's finally getting Lings out to the third base, at the very least.
Well, how many Phoenix have actually died so far? 6. Oh god, the units lost tab is just horrible to look at.
I'm gonna guess this fleet beacon is for carriers.
Oh.
That'll be fun.
No, Lambo. If only you could land the Overlords, just have them roll around on the ground doing somersaults or something.
This is like a little thing, like it's like a balloon, or no, not a balloon, like a beach ball, right? Where you have that little thing that you use to like breathe air into it. You just like open it up a little bit, right? And it deflates.
Oh,
Why can't you just do it with an Overlord? Put a little valve in it.
Okay, so
Say it for Phoenixes.
I would like to point out that in like that like that 1 second of being out of position and not paying attention, he lost more Phoenix than he had for the entire game leading up to this.
Yeah. Thank you to Pacioli NB for the 413 sub, and Nier 1989. The 25-month resub. This concept of WOV confuses and infuriates us.
I also love I love your comment there. It's not quite like a sub train, it's more like a sub tugboat. Just trying to guide in all the other subs.
Yep.
I
spent a long time trying to think of a perfect word for that.
That is, you know, think about it though. Like, when you get all the resubs going, it encourages somebody new to sub. That is kind of like tugboats pulling in like the new sub.
Well, I hope this tugboat like brings in like a gigantic Titanic, and it's like 10,000 bits or something. Because
because the Titanic crashed, right? Like.
Well, the tugboat's specialty is like, you know, like tugging extremely heavy, much bigger things than it, and you know, Titanic wreckage. Then I don't know.
Titanic. All right, so these Phoenix are.
Whoa.
Well, even then, like let's assess what exactly is going on here. All the Phoenix are getting massacred. This is bad. Doesn't matter that the fungal wasn't amazing. He just went from 14 Phoenix lost to 25.
Well,
however,
it was like. Yeah.
Well, however, he is transferring, and he started to transfer into like carriers and such before this. My concern, though, is not in the carriers. It's not even in these cannons. I just wonder if those adepts will be good enough. The upgrades are late. There's no resonating glaives. It's only just started. Like, I feel like Lambo actually has a small timing window here where if he gets there with Hydras now, he can actually very easily deal with what's going to be like 16 interceptors and less than a handful of adepts.
Yeah, it might be too late just to go up against carriers, but we'll see. I mean, Goblin still has a low number, but yeah, it's getting to that point of almost no return very soon. But I was trying to like point out like Goblin definitely had like a panic moment too. Like the first fungal was not good, second fungal was okay, and they tried to split, and he split like 6 Phoenixes into the Hydras. It was a bit of a panic moment. You know,
well, I just realized 31 Overlords dead. It's 3,100 minerals. Half of Lambo's resources lost essentially has been in Overlords.
That's some solid math, man.
It's more like solid guesstimation, but my point is though, it's just insane that so much has been lost, yet we look at the supplies and they're not that different. Like Goblin, without a doubt, prior to these Phoenix going down, massacred Lambo in the opening, right? Like you can't even argue that. 44 drones, 31 Overlords, like it's insane. Look at the units last tab.
I was gonna say he's lost almost as many Phoenixes as Overlords.
Feels bad, man. Nice catch on those fungals.
There you go. They should pop it up to 31. Oh, so close.
Alaska winner hitting us up with some of them bits. He's gonna be the new bit boss for the day.
Yay! Thank you.
What is that profile picture? Sorry, go on.
Hive on the way, but so is a mothership, and I fear that Lambo is just going to be too late to responding to carriers.
Well, is he though? Because look at this. How many infestors is this? 12, and they've got neural parasite. He might actually just be able to grab like every carrier plus the mothership.
That would be amazing, but there are going to be feedbacks. So as long as Goblin has any form of detection and keeps the High Templars alive. That ideally shouldn't happen. And Storm. And to be honest, if he has 5 Storms, those infestors are going to last very long no matter what they're doing. You gonna Ronin dude for the 21-month resub?
Yeah, why am I getting title T'd? I didn't try and do anything on the overlay.
I'm not sure. I think people just respond. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like a call to action. It's like Kappa.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Okay, I want to actually, we haven't looked at the building stat. How many spore crawlers now? He's got 18 spores. So I just realized like Lambo's damage inflicted upon him, like the resources lost looks kind of even, but then you got to add in the 18 spores he's had to invest into this game. I'm in this weird position, right? Where I think that if he gets like 3 or 4 ultras just to tank some of the adept damage, maybe catch a Templar or whatever, but then advances spore crawlers with those infestors, Goblin's going to do this moment because of what we saw with the Phoenix, where I think Panic will strike and get him killed. Like, if you go with just the infestors, it's so obvious, it's so linear, you know exactly what's coming. But when you land the spore crawlers, you've got Hydras on the right side and infestors down the middle. Like, I think there's just going to be a little too much chaos for Goblin to handle appropriately.
When you said land spore crawlers, just imagine the Hydra's picking it up and throwing it.
However you want to look at it. Now it's
Cannon instead of cannon.
it is worth noting. First off, I don't think you can afford another Stargate. To be honest, like 4 Stargates doesn't have the bank for it. But
I have 5 bases.
I really like that he started adding in Void Rays to this. I think if you go just straight carrier, even the new Corruptors can deal with that.
So, I think he's getting to the perfect Protoss composition, but I also think that the Void Rays might be unnecessary because we know that Lambo does not have a Spire.
Well, they will melt through an Ultralisk, whereas Interceptors will deflect off the Carapace, right?
I get, like, yeah, they'll certainly help against the Ultras, and the Ultras will, like, try and be taking out the cannons, and if it can work out that perfectly, then that is great. That's like I'm saying, like, you might as well get the Void Rays. You're making a perfect Protoss army, but usually the Void Rays are more of like a, oh shit, I need them now, if the person has gone for a Spire at all, which Lambo hasn't gone for. Like, he's just like, Corruptors are totally worthless, let's not go for it.
I'm wondering as well here, what the merit on 16 Infestors, right? First off, these have been burrowed and hiding within the Spore Crawlers, so there's 0 chance Goblin, with no Oracles, no Revelation, has any idea, not just the number, but the positioning of these. Shout out to Fart Falcon.
Should get an Oracle, actually, now that you mentioned it. Whoa! Thank you to Dovin Wolf for the 1,000 bits. There we go.
That might bug out with the Bit Boss. I'll explain why in a moment. The fungal growths are going to fly. Okay. Well, you know what? He neurals a lot of the Void Rays, though, and those are going to be dealing the big damage here.
3.
Well, even that being said, the Hydras aren't focusing much down. The Spores didn't work out like I think we were hoping, and all those Infestors gone. I mean, he's got money in the bank. Are you making Infestors? Are you making Hydras? I don't know. He killed enough of Goblin's army to have this Remax work out for him.
No. Well, the thing is that this is really just like questionable marks too. Like, I don't know what you, because the pace of the game was already so off because of those Phoenixes. So I think there are other games where this does not look as good as this right here. But considering how the game has gone and how little Lambo was able to do early on before the max out happened, I'm actually not sure what composition would work. I mean, he did like get a pretty ideal setup where he had initially like 6 neural parasites, but then it still didn't work out.
Well,
of course, it's a recall here. That's nice.
So one of the really important things that just happened there was those Ultras were able to run through the army that was in the sky and tackle the Templar in the back line. That first fight, I think a big part of what went wrong for Rent Lambo, so many storms, so much damage, like those Hydras just really couldn't get a good engagement. This time around, as we saw, they definitely did. So a couple things really quick. Somebody chat, I think it was Mega Man or somebody was asking, how does this Bit Boss thing work? When you cheer bits, it basically deals damage to the current boss. The more bits will... Oh no, why? Why? Oh, I was out of position.
Whoa, I was way out of position.
The more bits you donate, the more health your boss will have when you become the boss. But secondly, Fart Falcon should have been destroyed by Dove and Wolf. There was a problem right now with the Bit Boss where if people donate too closely to one another, it won't count the second one for damage for whatever stupid reason. I've relayed this to the dev, and they're gonna fix that hopefully sooner than later. Hopefully.
Yeah. It is kind of a small passion project, so.
Also, Terminator, absolutely, man. I see you in chat, absolutely.
Okay, that's a lot of Infestors going down there.
I think you wanted to get like a sneaky fungal off, and that would have been really cool, but that just did not work. That was too expensive.
And yeah, even with the fungals, it's always going to be a questionable engagement. But without the fungals, quite worrying. 7 more Infestors are on the way. Ultra is going after the High Templars. We'll get rid of the Storm, and that is very helpful. Well,
that's once again him kind of tackling those down. But these Hydras. Oh wow, that was really loud.
That was.
So was that too. Goddamn! GG! Alright, Goblin takes the game. And more importantly, Saldus Dub destroys the Bit Boss. But why? This is another problem. He just did 7,600, but it reset him to 100 health. Hang on, let me check this. Is it just out of game it's like that? No, it's both. So yeah, this is... I'm not sure. The Bit Boss thing's pissing me off because it's been breaking a lot on stream. And part of it's because we use multiple scenes and other people don't, so they don't really have this compensator for that. But, tilted. frustrated, angry.
Yeah, still.
Anyways, solid stuff. I recognize and I see those bits, and I thank you very much. And I'm sorry that it's gonna absolutely screw you here in terms of health. At any rate, we wait for Lambo's map pick. Maybe just Abyssal Reef wasn't his
Jam.
best map.
His peanut butter.
His peanut butter and jam, yeah.
Yeah. So, I made a video that I can show if I ever have problems making a lobby to prove
Oh, you finally got it.
that I'm not crazy.
I
I
feel
made
like
it 2 days ago, actually, but I just haven't brought it up.
I feel like you've been trying to catch that one shiny Pokemon for so long, and you finally got it. And I'm just so proud of you right now, dude.
I had the video for like 1 or 2 weeks, actually. But, and I even told StarCraft about it. Okay, so that should be
StarCraft,
fixed in, like, 6
you know,
months.
the person.
Yes, StarCraft the person. Yep. Anyways, it's not me going crazy. I'm not crazy.
Well, I mean,
I'm not.
anyways, yeah, to explain really quick. So for the finals of this, Terminator was asking in chat, and for those who might be curious what's going on, one of my Patreon tier rewards is, well, actually, I'm surprised more people don't use the other one. I'll explain that one in a sec. But one of my Patreon tier rewards is if you're like really happy on the Patreon, once a month you can totally live spectate one of the finals with us. We'll get you in the call, so trust you'll mute yourself and not be a jerk. But that way you can hear us in real time, spectate in real time, and be able to watch the game from your point of view, which is always kind of fun and cool, I guess. So yeah, he'll be claiming that. So he'll be kind of hopping on stream a little bit later for the grand finals. And then the other, so I've got a Patreon tier reward where if you, once a month, you can select who we host after a stream. And I'm surprised more people don't do this. Like, give your friend 2,000 viewers after like a BaseTradeTV stream's over. Like, sure, they're not gonna all stick around, but they'll be like super like, I feel like that's more hype to see a host for like 2,000 viewers than getting like a donation for like $20 or something, right? Or whatever the cost is on the Patreon. I don't remember.
There's one thing I've seen is that Patreon rewards are used for the first couple months, and then people don't bother. It's not just ours. It's like a lot of other people's Patreons too. It's Patreons that I actually am Patreon too that I also have not gotten any rewards or bothered. So.
Oh, why is this not? Okay, so I can't close the names. Is Control C working for you right now? Or Control Shift C, excuse me.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, it's not working for me for whatever strange reason. All right, well, we'll leave that alone and not try and break things. We are getting into what is game number 2. Bacon here says Bug Boss, Best Boss. Rip. In the bottom right side of the map, we got the blue Zerg player. It's Lambo.
In the bottom left is the red Protoss. He is Goblin. Dicioed, reset for 27 months.
Thank you very much. Dicioed.
Good one.
Thanks for the sub ravioli. But yeah, sorry about the boss being bugged. Not much I can really do, and I felt really bad because for those who don't know, I rewatched some of our VODs, and I was rewatching one of the finals I was casting, and I spent like 3 games getting hung up on it and realized how much that took away from the cast. So I'm just gonna have to hope that you guys who do contribute bits, if your stuff bugs out, you can forgive. Is your picture Kim Jong-il or Un? I mean, Bacon Hero, why? Anyways, I hope you guys can forgive me, and I blanket apology, and thanks for the support nonetheless, because we do appreciate it.
I had a dream that I was on the DMZ of South and North Korea.
Did you bring a Pepsi with you?
No, thank God.
Oh, why? Because we say that's how you could unite the two countries. Do you not know about this?
Clearly, I know exactly what you're talking about. I know. I made a mistake in my dream. Anyways, and it was just like a path, you know, like it wasn't anything officially set up. But in my dream, North Korea had werewolves, and we had to all run away from them. So.
Oh.
I just seriously don't know. I hate, like, one thing that you might not know about me is that I hate werewolf and vampire mythology. I think it is the most boring, like, super, monster mythology that can be created. I've never heard a vampire story or werewolf story that I've liked.
Okay, well, what about Blackulas?
Don't know what that is.
It's a black Dracula, obviously. The name's pretty self-explanatory.
I really wished it was not as that self-explanatory. Anyways,
no, this is an actual question. Do you know about this or no?
No.
Okay, then never mind.
Okay then. We should chat with you on it. That aside.
Why do you hate it?
Werewolf story. What?
Why do you hate them?
Why do I hate what?
Werewolves and vampires.
Oh, I just I think this is really boring. I was saying like I've yet to read or to watch something that included vampires.
I was like, yeah. Whoa! What the fuck? There's a massacre, a slaughter. It was destruction. Thank you, Snipe Hunt. And the best part is he used the Kriegasm cheer. I love that one with the little rainbow flashing background. Super psychedelic. 10,000 bits. I hope this doesn't bug out. It probably will. So Snipe Hunt, I'll tell you what, man. Send me a message here on Twitch. I'm gonna send you a special prize. Okay, so not a whisper. I'm not gonna get whispers. You gotta direct message the channel as if you're writing for a part 2. I'm gonna send you a special prize for that bomb. Thank you so much. Just because I know it's gonna bug out and screw you out of your boss status.
Special present from Rifkin via PMs.
DMs. Excuse you. I don't think PMs are a thing anymore. Nobody slides into your PMs, Zombie Grub.
Well,
plus
DMs
PMs,
on Twitter, isn't it?
You know what?
Is it PMs on Twitch?
You're probably the only one with PMs. PMS.
Oh. Wow, you just picked that apple right off the ground. It was so like
it was buried under the ground. What's that French phrase? Pomme de terre, apple of the earth. Like, it was a potato. 4 gateways scouted though is big. Warp Prism revealed with that same Overlord. This was a huge scout, but can he deal with what's going to be an actual 7-gate attack? Lambo last game I thought was really well prepared for the carriers, and I thought he played out really well, but still just couldn't overcome the ferocity, I guess, that is Protoss. Might be faced with the same problem here, because this is about as brute force as it gets. 7 gates.
Yeah, quite worrying. Even if you have enough for, 10 adepts, 4 of them get into your main base and you aren't fast enough, and suddenly that's an entire drone line lost. I mean, they're pretty scary units. But with the War Prism here, he doesn't even have to shade to get them on top, in 2 different locations, basically. You can actually just pick up 4 of them, shade the rest, and then be in every single base, actually. But instead he's going to go for the main. He could warp in a sentry, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Oh,
this is disgusting. This kills me because I'm actually a huge Lambo fan, right? Actually, one of our more popular VODs on YouTube is Lambo versus Polt from IAM, and everyone hates so much I was cheering on Lambo in that cast, but I love Lambo to bits, and still, this move out of Goblin has got me going, go Goblin.
Oh, well, he actually didn't warp in another sentry, so
ooh, that's a problem.
are unleashed.
Well, not to mention Ravagers help break that. He's also using the new Ravager skin. First player we've seen using this Sonic the Hedgehog skin.
Whoa!
Oh,
you're right. Look at this. That's super spiky. Yeah.
That's actually the first time I've seen that in game at all, by the way.
Yeah. I kind of forgot it was a thing. Anyways, yeah, Goblin didn't have enough gas for enough sentries. Sorry, to take in mind the Ravager breaking the force field. So it is probably just better that he gave up on it and sent the sentries back home. But I don't think the Adepts did enough damage. Even being trapped in the main base, they didn't get 20 drone kills. They got 6.
But here's where this gets weird in question mark, right? Lambo last time I felt waited too long to attack, and it left him with a weird spot where he couldn't take on carriers. They got too massed up. I'm worried that if he waits too long, this will give Goblin time to build Immortals and get an army back at home. Whereas right now, it's very clear that had he gone right away, this third base would have gotten canceled. There would have been unfavorable trades for Goblin. Yeah. Of course, he's still worried about defending at home. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Lambo's making bad moves, but I'm just saying it's another, I feel like, missed opportunity to be aggressive.
It's a hard call. In that last game, there were already cannons at the 4th base and 3rd, I think.
Yeah,
and
it was like,
carriers on
3
the way.
cannons.
Yeah, but with 3 carriers, because he had like 15 Hydras. The point, like the math looks so tempting, but every Zerg player has sent Hydras in a battle with Ling reinforcements and been like, well, that didn't last very long because they're, you know, they don't have a lot of health. So I can certainly see why he didn't do it last game. And this game, because it's not carriers, and I think that there's not a fear of it snowballing as much. I also don't mind that he doesn't. Well, I can see why he isn't, I suppose, better way to put it, that he's not immediately attacking. It looks so weird in the protection tab. It looks like a fuzzy little like, thing from,
it's like a Yeti.
Kids cartoon. Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I actually think that the armor on the legs and stuff looks really cool. It's like the back just looks. It's Sonic the Hedgehog, guys. That's all I can see.
I like it. I think it's Dehumanizer for the 14-month resub.
All right, well,
quality streams.
Here comes the attack. We got sentries. Maybe not a lot of them, but enough of them. Force fields do go down and split the army. Not that many immortals, but also not that many roaches. Still getting that concave. A lot of this army's almost dead. Those sentries are like one good shot from dying.
Yeah. If Goblin had warped in sentries a lot sooner, so he had twice as much energy, would have been a different fight. But to be honest, you know, Adepts need that to be up close against their opponents, so like how much is Force Field really going to help? It would help the Immortals. And now they're not here anymore.
Well,
once an overcharge, a little bit scary, but that's enough for Ravager, I think.
Yeah, the brute force numbers game certainly tipped in Lambo's favor. Now over double the army supply. I mean, I actually like that he's not being so careless to just A-move in here, but it is one of those things where he is and should win these fights.
3 Immortals is no joke, and once the Roaches go down, the Ravagers go down almost as quickly. They don't have as much health.
Yeah, I mean, the big, I think, key difference is, well, they don't have as much health. They're not armored, so they don't take all that crazy extra damage from the Immortals. Kind of turns Immortals into normal units.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And he still has Adepts being warped in. Like, there's a theoretical here, but Lambo is just, it's, you know, just reinforced, and he should just be overwhelming, even with the 4th Immortal coming out.
Well, takes down the 3rd. That's already a pretty devastating blow as he continues to just kind of stutter forward here. A lot of the Roaches have been bleeding out, but the Ravagers really haven't. Nice micro out of Goblin. He's been picking up and scooping up these Immortals, but GG. We got a series on our hands, and it's going to go to game 3, and I'm going to watch Snipe Hunt's bit count reset to 100 and be so sad. God damn it, why does it do that?
Aww.
This sucks because we have been handing out prizes to the top bit boss, but this kind of like discourages people from like trying to be the bit boss early on if it means that they're just going to get their number reset. So that's why I said Snipe Hunt, just send me a message, a DM, if you will.
Did you, are you gonna go to a break, or?
Yeah, let's hop into a 2-minute commercial real quick, guys. I gotta sort something with the admin anyway, so we'll see you guys soon. Alright. Hello, and welcome back. Sorry, I was reading lobby chat there. Belshir Vestige, game number 3, starting up here in just a moment. Goblin, like I said, Goblin's, he's kind of like the Lily Kineen of my point of view, where you're like, you don't know whether this guy's going to do well or not, but you know he's going to show you some interesting games. And watching the dynamic of like game 1 versus game 2, it really was like, yeah, Lambo's like the gold standard. Can you beat Lambo? And the answer is obviously yes, but can you consistently beat Lambo? And the answer to that is consistent, like it's clearly no.
No.
Ah, there's Bacon Hero just in time to snipe the boss from Snipe Hunt.
Oh.
Anyways, okay, cool. Snipe Hunt. Like I said, I'll get to you after stream, dude. But I got a special prize for you, man. Sorry again about the issues. But we're getting into game number 3. Things are tied up 1-1 here for the Corsair Comp, and once again, Kim Jong-il, or Un, excuse me, graces us with his presence. Why is this your profile picture, man? In the bottom right, we got the blue Zerg player. It is Lambo.
In the top left, as the Red Protoss, he is Goblin.
Now this is Goblin's map pick, and I'm actually not so surprised about it, because I want to say, to my recollection, and this is so vague and long ago, I'm perfectly willing to be wrong, I think Belshir was the first time I remember seeing Goblin and going like, what is this build with oracles? Except I think back then it was proxied and it wasn't in base, right?
It might have been. I do recall Belshir and watching Goblin's oracles. So was it the first time? I don't remember, but it might have been. It's a weird dude. But it's worked once. It didn't really have much of a chance working the second time. Lambo just scouted too well and prepared too well. But, you know, adepts, I guess. You always have a chance to work, am I right, guys? But it didn't. So I don't know what he has in store in Game 3. Because obviously typical all-ins are going to work against Lambo if he's going to be on top of scouting. So what do you do? Just play really defensive? Perhaps. Yeah, Stargate did work out, and Lambo did get surprised. And supply blocked.
I feel like part of that is that element of surprise. First game of the series, you open something like that, and Protoss, yeah, it's in the back pocket, but it's not expected all the time. Not as the opener. Not as the right off the bat. I don't know that you could get away with it after, like, the first game. And I say this not because, like, oh, balance, but just because it's Lambo and he'll know better.
Well, he should, yeah. Playing till third base, to a third base, and not all-inning, it could still work out for Goblin, who is a decent player, just, like, even without the Protoss tricks. But it would be difficult. I think Lambo is still the better overall player. While Goblin's really apparently climbing the ranks quite heavily. Well, Lambo taking a third base, he could turn things on its head too and go for like Ling drops or again that fast overlord speed, just get really good scouting. Perfectly defend anything that Goblin has to throw at him. Goblin is going for a Twilight Council, not a Stargate. Probably recognizing the same success from the first game is not going to be repeated.
Yeah. Plus, I think just Resonating Glaives is so good. You want that in every matchup. Interesting question coming out of chat, though. And I'm going to get this shout out because I love this guy so much. Poison Ivy. Whee! Thank you for the 11 months. But Miro wants to know, if Dawn of War 3 turns out to be good, will base trade cast it at some point, or are they purely StarCraft forever? I can't speak for Zombie but I actually love the Warhammer universe. And if, and this is like a big if, Dawn of War 3 was great, I would certainly consider it. But this is kind of like the same answer I have with Brood War, where I'm not looking necessarily to do it, and I'm not saying that we're not going to do it, but it really isn't on my mind, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I guess the blanket answer here really is like, we're open-minded and we're willing to try things, but honestly, guys, like, I like StarCraft. Like, I really like StarCraft.
There's a reason that StarCraft is dominating RTS. Like, I want to cast Brood War. I like it a lot. Obviously, casting Second 2 and like that a lot. I think he rares for the 101 bits.
The rares.
Yeah. But Dawn, I don't know anything about Dawn of War. So if it was fun, I guess I'd play it. But it's like a gray goo. People like kind of got on that hype train, and that failed really hard.
I feel like Grey Goo
Halo
was...
Wars.
Well, so Grey Goo was like out of nowhere, and it was like, okay, let's hope for the best. Dawn of War's actually got a pretty decent establishment through the first couple of games and the expansions, so I actually wouldn't be surprised if Dawn of War 3 turned out to be good. But for me, I love listening to, like, you have the orcs that are super British, like...
Yeah, I'm sure there's of course a fan base, but there's also a fan base for Halo. I don't know about what happened to Halo Wars, so I don't know.
Yeah, the
There's
FPS...
also a fan for like Age of anything. Like I would love, oh, that worked from both sides. Love like Age of Mythology 2 to come out or something like that, but it you know, it's probably not. And even if it did, it probably would have no chance. The only thing that's a WoW killer is WoW 2, am I right? And StarCraft killer is Warcraft 4.
No, the WoW killer was gonna be Titan, remember? And then that became Overwatch.
Well, okay, the point was, I guess, still like something from Blizzard, right?
Yeah. Left side, we got these DTs coming in. Second Warp Prism. I'm loving that this is becoming more and more common. This first Warp Prism really doesn't have a lot of sustainability to it. Already almost dead. Picks up the Archons. Oh my god!
Die. If there was creeps where that would have died. Damn, but there's no Squirt Girl over here anymore.
Oh, and that's gonna be a problem.
That's a dead hatchery, I do believe. The Overseer is not nearby. There's one on the other side of the map, and there's one coming over now, but it's too late. Too late.
too late to apologize.
I hate that song.
Yeah, you never apologize, so I'm not surprised.
Ah.
All right,
Wait,
so
what's the song even going?
the base, I don't know. The base goes down, and that kind of sucks. But he's gonna make up for it by double expanding, and I like that a lot, actually. The problem is, though, he's faced with this problem where he might not. I guess he can actually stop DTs. It wouldn't be cheesy harass that would knock this down. But Goblin, okay, that first Warp Prism kind of fell apart because the Warp Prism health was so low. Kind of wish this one would have tried to pick up those Archons, or turn these into Archons, and do what the first Warp Prism could not.
Gonna cancel the 4th base, then turn to Archon. I think that's the best use of this Warp Prism now, but oh well.
Well, even that's questionable because there's Overseers, right? Like, getting the snipe is not going to be so easily accomplished.
Well, he's keeping it there as DTs because he's hoping Lambo will one day leave the 3rd base, which he should. You know, he should be like moving towards the main and wondering if the Warp Prism's still there because he doesn't have any. Actually, he doesn't have none of his eyes on it. He could easily put an Overload over there to make sure he knows where the Warp Prism is, but he doesn't. He still left units though, so it's still not the opportunity Goblin was waiting for. Or Lambo will just move out and try and kill him. Like either one, that's when the Warp Prism is really gonna shine. Not yet. Look at it on the way. Bit of an old-fashioned PvT, really, to see lurkers come in kind of a stable, fluid fashion. Sure, the 3rd base died, but it didn't really affect anything. There was no follow-up from Goblin. Really just Roach, then Hydra, then Lurker. Why Warp Prism? Why?
Oh, because Goblin wanted to give away a very expensive set of units. That was an unfortunate mistake. He may have actually had this selected with the army. If he was moving out, that would kind of make sense. So we had a couple of almost walkovers in the bracket, by the way. I guess Eutherma and Neeb were both a little bit late to the party. When I saw Dares message me that, I was so heartbroken because I'm like, no, these guys are meant to be in the finals, okay? They can't both no-show.
They're meant to be.
But they are both actually playing their games out right now, and we don't have anything to worry about anymore, which is nice. Because there's actually been a considerable amount of walkovers in the brackets, but as long as we end up with decent semifinals, that's all I care about. More on that later, though. The attack comes in. Lambo's actually got lurkers with this, and I don't think there's detection for Goblin. Here's the Observer now, a little bit late. But it's like one Observer. If he just dives in for it, I think it'd be worth it.
Maybe. Now, Goblin can't send the Observer forward enough to see just how many lurkers there are, so he should definitely be afraid of pushing in here. And 3 Immortals really isn't a lot. He's really more depending on these Blink Stalkers, which do not have any upgrades. That forage feels maybe even late. I think it doesn't have at least +1. But without +2, this actually is not that great of a composition, even if its numbers aren't so bad. I think Lambo just needs to be patient and then eventually collapse in, especially if he's clicking on the upgrades and realizing what's going on here.
Well, the Archons fall pretty much immediately. This, with the Stalkers falling back, ends up exposing the Immortals. And, well, this army may or may not die to Lambo. Like, honestly, this doesn't matter nearly as much as this does. And without those Immortals, there's no way to deal with those Lurkers.
Yeah, and he stopped building Immortals, which is a problem. He's trying to go to Robotics Bay now, so Disruptors, but there's still no second Robo, despite the 4th base being on the way, and that is something that he needs. Immortal, or Robo production, Immortal, Disruptor, whatever.
Oh, man.
Take it to Anton Cridian for the 36-month resub.
Chat's killing me, too. All this Warhammer 40k talk. I'm so jealous I can't talk about it right now.
Yeah, nerd stuff. Woo.
Well, you don't know a lot about the Warhammer universe, right?
That's correct.
There's like a lot of little factions, but like if you're like the TLDR, there's kind of like, you know, the Ultramarine or the Marines or whatever, they're kind of like Terran. You got the Tyranids, which are kind of like Zerg. You got the Eldar, which are kind of like Protoss. But then you got like these other couple of races thrown in there. And for me, it's like I really wish StarCraft had some like 4th race like the Orcs that are, I guess, more like Zerg than anything else. Anyways, Blink Stalker Wars coming in. And I don't know, like you mentioned it, right? There's not a lot of upgrades in these. They're coming up against +2 lurkers, much less the Hydras. I mean, that Burrow's gonna slaughter the. Oh my god.
That was really nice by Lambo. He actually siege chopped his lurkers, and that's something that Goblin was not expecting.
Yeah.
Oh, Disruptor was unexpected. Gets quite a few Hydralists, but I think it's too few Immortals take on these lurkers. Doesn't matter about anything else.
I also don't know if there's detection here anymore. Yeah, the Observer got sniped, so there's no more detection.
He doesn't have a second Robo still, so that one Disruptor, if he even realizes he doesn't have an Observer, You might start another shot there before then.
I feel like a Stargate would actually be far more reliable. Those observers are going to get dived in and sniped every single time, whereas the Revelation could just kind of chill back. But I love the way he spread his lurkers too, fully anticipating that there might be more disruptor hits. But these lurkers are going to town, and the stalkers are just getting annihilated by that damage. Bonus versus armored is so sweet.
That's good. Super gone. Goblin, honestly, just like it felt like his follow-up wasn't.
GG.
Like, I feel like he should have had +1. You know, and it wasn't paying super close attention to what build or what he was missing and his timings or anything like that. But to be aggressive like that with just plain blink stalkers felt. Weird.
It's been so long since we've actually seen lurkers work that well too. I don't know. Like I just feel like they really. They got figured out very early on, I guess, and a lot of people stopped using them.
Yeah, they seem as like a Hail Mary, like maybe they won't even expect lurkers nowadays if they ever come into play. So that was like a really weird throwback to like 7 months ago. Thank you to Ilenia Berith for the Twitch Prime sub.
Woo! All right, well, at the moment, I was hoping to catch some Euthermal action. He plays healer next if he wins versus Penguin, but if they go to game 3, maybe we can hop into that. Of course, Neeb going to be rocking that top half of the bracket. I'm hoping for that Neeb Lambo semifinals. I think would be a great combo. Bottom side, most likely Keen versus Euthermal if it comes down to it. I don't know. Either way, we got some good games ahead of us. Nate in chat. What's up, Nate? How you doing, bud? Ninjetti, thank you for the 10-month resub. And we're going to head off to a small commercial break. When we get back, hopefully one of the games will be available. Thanks for watching. See you guys soon.